Dude, you arrived, and I mean, we've been sitting there itching to talk about the massive elephant in the room, and we were like, save for the podcast, save for the podcast. What have we discovered?
He's strong.
What have we discovered?
Really strong.
Riekerd Bornman, ladies and gentlemen, is who we're talking about. If you haven't seen it, you probably have. If you're on this channel, you've probably already seen it. Riekerd Bornman is he's a beast.
Yeah, genuine beast. 19, too. It's just silly. It's really, really silly. Training last night, incredibly impressive. Apparently 2 weeks ago he was sore and feeling weak.
But last night was weird, wasn't it? We met him, for the context, we met him 2 weeks ago, and yeah, he felt strong 2 weeks ago. He felt really strong. But last night was different. If you missed the training, guys, look, I'll put it on the screen for you. You got to see a bit of it. Riekerd Bornman is 19 years old. He is essentially a brand new arm wrestler. He spent no time dedicated to the sport. He's competed once in South Africa and once in Australia. I've been arm wrestling a decade. I've been dedicated to this for a long time. I feel really strong right now, and yeah, I've never experienced a newcomer like Riekerd.
No, it was something else. Just to see him essentially take complete control for the first 8 pulls or something.
Yeah.
Just complete control, shut off every
everything.
Lane. There was no options.
Outside lane, inside lane.
Yeah.
It was all. It looked like he was just stonewalling me. I put the effort in, and I went to go, and I'm like, I can't move. I can't budge this guy from center. And that's him easing in. Like, imagine the version.
Yeah. Imagine when he gets confident enough to become aggressive with that. That's phenomenal. Nah. And even going over to your defensive stops, he didn't want to press last night, press or hook. Wanted to stay off that, and you could feel if he wanted to press through that.
If he wanted to have pressed, then he could have pressed. Then I have no doubt. I could feel it because last week when he was sore, he pressed, and I couldn't stop it. So the non-sore version, but of course he's not wanting to pull inside at the moment because it does flare him up because he is still so new, and he's got a professional super match in 2 months against Mario Tembakis, who is screwed. I will go on record as saying Mario Tembakis is going to get crushed by Riekerd Bornman 4-0. I don't think Mario Tembakis will even see his side of center. He won't. He won't get past center. It'll look. Mario is at best same level as me. And last night I was fresh and I was ready, and Riekerd stonewalled me. Mario's in trouble, big trouble. Let's just pause for a second.
Yeah.
Every now and then, like we've talked about genetic potentials in the sport. Names like Khalid Shell come to mind. Even one of our own club members, Marcus Satiro, comes to mind. But people come along every now and then that just have all the boxes ticked, don't they?
Yep.
And I wrote this on Facebook last night. I said, calling it now, Riekerd will be world elite within 2 years. And John Milne commented. John Milne from Canada, Devon Larratt's best mate, said, I wish I had $1 for every time I've heard someone say that. And he did add to that. He said, I'm not saying you're wrong, Ryan, but I'm just saying I hear that a lot.
Yep.
I think I'm a good judge of it. Pretty damn good judge of someone's potential. And Riekerd ticks all of the boxes. Do you think, is he one of those dudes that just is different?
I mean, strength-wise, yeah. You don't see 19-year-olds who arm wrestled for the first time a year ago, haven't touched it, come over to Australia, arm wrestle in an Australian amateur comp. They're sore, they're tired, rock up to a training session, After having trained that day and the day before and everything, no rest, and gas Lachlan Adair out in 6 pulls.
Yes.
That just doesn't happen.
That's
Lachlan
it. So
took full control, and then
yeah,
gassed out.
yeah,
And then
exactly.
couldn't beat him in a hook.
Everyone wants to know now what everyone. I got comments on the video from last night saying we need to see him with Lachlan. Well, it has somewhat happened. Like Ethan just said that. Again, the clips. So I think I can dig up the clips. So let's hopefully we've got them. Here they are. If we do, Lachlan looked dominant.
Yep.
First few pulls, forcing a hook. Keep in mind, Riekerd had just pulled me.
Yeah,
Red line pulled me. So Riekerd was, and he pulled you too.
And he'd pull me for a
So Lachlan was third in line.
lower pressure.
And Lachlan was Lachlan. I mean, and Lachlan's comp ready for Mate Urarangi hit to Morris Lachlan. Just keep all these factors in mind. And young 19 Riekerd, Lachlan pulls through. But then on the 6th pull, Riekerd says, nah, and enters a King's Move defense. It completely stops Lachlan. And Lachlan concedes. And he goes, and when Lachlan conceded, I thought at the time, Lachlan's just saving his elbows. He doesn't want to be pressing or anything like that because the match coming up. Next pull, number 7, they go into a hook. Riekerd wins it. And I'm like, what? Riekerd beat Lachlan in a hook? What? Yeah, man. It's
no.
I think he is special. I think when I think about the boxes that need to be ticked to make someone one of those guys that's just gonna be the next thing. Obviously, strength. He has that very clearly. He has a unique graciousness about him as well that I've never encountered before.
Mate, never met anybody so humble and so excited to be there. He's always so excited and so thankful for everything.
Yeah.
He's a great person to be around.
Yeah, he's a he's amazing. Really good dude. And I think that graciousness can only set him up for success.
Paul Lynn may no longer be the nicest man in arm wrestling. I'm sorry. This guy
is coming for your title, Paul Lynn.
Yeah,
Trust me, he's coming for it, and he's coming very quickly. But graciousness, yes. I think he already a lot of the time what stops someone from going on and becoming a genuine elite athlete is the mindset. They're not tough. They don't know the process of what it takes to become a pro. I think he has that because he's already been pursuing professional rugby in South Africa, which if you're a rugby player and you've ever played against a South African team, you'll know they love their rugby. It is very much, I mean, Australia, New Zealand and South Africa are the gold standard of rugby, and he's on the cusp of being in the Springboks, is what I'm gathering from it. So he knows mentally what it takes to pursue a sport.
Yeah.
So that box is ticked. What other boxes do you need? You need his strength, he's got it. Graciousness, he will be loved and given opportunities. Yeah. He has the right mental attitude. He's intuitive as anything on the table.
Yeah, he moves really, really well. He moves great. If I was talking to him and he told me he'd been arm wrestling once a week for 1-2 years, I wouldn't blink an eye. Like
you can still, I think you can still count on 2 hands how many times he's actually been on a table.
Yeah,
like literally, he said when I asked him,
maybe even 1 hand.
Yeah. I asked him how much experience have you got? How much training? And he said, well, I pulled in a tournament in South Africa. My first ever match was Terence Opperman.
Who he stopped and almost beat.
Let's put that clip up. Terence Opperman. Terence Opperman, world class, like legend of South African arm wrestling, has had super matches with John Brzenk, like real pointy end stuff. Terence Opperman is Riekerd's first ever opponent, and Terence stops him with the same stop that he stopped Lachlan with, brings it back to center, gets into a position where he's taken center, he's about to go for a press, and Terence panics, like has to hit a massive pronated side pressure and pulls him out of his shoulder. That's literal first time on a table against someone of Terence Opperman's level. But his answer was, so I pulled once in South Africa, and prior to that, I've just gripped that with my little brother, who I got him to use two hands because his little brother's 5 years younger than him or something.
Yeah.
But he swears his little brother is stronger than he is. He's like, my little brother's stronger. He'll be better. So it's all, isn't that cool that stuff like that happens? You find a freak and then you're like, he's got a brother.
He's got a family. He's actually the run to the litter.
Yeah.
Imagine that. He's 6'2"?
No, he
6'3"?
says he's 6. He says he's 6'3".
6'3"?
But he's
massive.
He's a big 6'3".
He's 123 and lean. So, like, standing around him, he's a very big person. So whether he's 6'3", even if he was a little bit shorter, a little bit taller,
I think he's a very modest 6'3". I think it's 6'3", barefoot slouching. That's what I think. I think put shoes on and stand tall. I feel like he's 6'4". How tall are you?
Yeah, well, I'm 6'3".
And is he taller than you?
No.
Okay.
Then again, same thing. I'm barefoot and slouching to be 6'3". So
well, there you go. Exactly. So I'm right.
I'm halfway in between the two.
So he's a weapon. And as you said, he came to Australia. It's the second time he's ever pulled. Enters I feel sorry for everyone in that tournament now. An amateur tournament, and the amateur tournament was a tournament where the prerequisites were you had to have never podiumed at a state title to compete. Yeah. So Riekerd entered, and Riekerd massacred everyone. And it's
after gripping up with him. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He's going to. There's no one in Australia who hasn't won states or maybe come second who can beat that man.
Well, no, Riekerd is a match for me right now. Like he's at my level where I say this very truthfully. I think he would beat me in a match. I do, based on what I felt last night. With his like training is training. Everyone will say it's training. You got to be. It's different. Yes, it is. But he was like speed and manipulation and all that sort of stuff. All those advantages that someone like myself would have, they don't mean anything if the guy's too strong at center. And that's what I felt last night. I had, like, when I put that strap on, I was as connected to that strap as I would look to be in a match. The only thing that didn't occur last night was a ref saying go, which would have allowed me to explode, but it would have allowed him to explode as well. But when I went to go, it wasn't even close to me taking control. His side pressure feels about like if our hands are the same, his side pressure feels honestly like it is about 30% more than mine, at least. He can push me off center with our hands the same comfortably.
Yeah. I'd put it around 10% watching it, which still feel 5 to 10%. Still feels horrible because it means that they've got absolute control over the side. Yeah. It doesn't need to be a massive amount.
So he's different. It's safe to say Riekerd Bornman. What a great name, Bornman. He was born man.
Yeah, he was born 6'3".
He's literally got the perfect name. He's got the perfect name for a strength sport, just born man. Like, come on. This guy, so we are going to see more of him, no doubt.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he's as we said earlier on, he's incredibly grateful. He hasn't stopped thanking us for the opportunities to even train with us. AWE has set a match for him against the Australian 100 kilo AAF champion, Mario Tembakas, who you may well know. Mario has beaten people like Cody Supermatches on right, so he's no slouch by any stretch. He and I have gone back and forth over the years with wins and losses. He's the real deal, and he's currently ranked 6th in Australia on the overalls. And Riekerd Bornman
rocks up, fresh in the sport. By the way, top 10 Australia.
Novice Riekerd Bornman is about to enter the pro division. So we're going to see a lot. The other cool thing is like the video of Riekerd last night training has has set the internet alight already. Like I work.
Not surprised.
I posted it at 2 a.m. or something. It's 8 a.m. now, and on Instagram it's got 70 shares. On Facebook it's had 34 shares. On Devin Larratt sent me a message with a mind blown emoji. Like,
yeah.
yeah. Like, so it's doing that. It's doing that to the world.
Marcus Atira, Devin said a couple of times, Marcus was strongest amateur he's ever felt. Riekerd just pressed through him.
Yeah, Riekerd Riekerd pressed through the 4-year Marcus or the 5-year Marcus, whatever it is. I tell you, when I was driving home from training last night, I rang Lachlan Adair. I said, dude, I rang him and said, first thing I said was, Mario is so gone. Mario has no chance in this match. We have to tell a bit of the story as well about this, because Mario, when I set this match through the AWE 2 weeks ago, after meeting Riekerd for the first time, Mario was like, Mario doesn't know who Riekerd is, and Mario's like, dude, he messaged me privately saying, dude, what are you doing setting me with a brand new dude? Like, it's gonna be a massacre. He's like, it's not even gonna be close. And I said, trust me, Mario, he's really good. And he's like, in practice maybe, but not in a ready go. Well, last week I was like, it'll be a good match. This week I'm like, it's not close. It's not close.
It's not close the other way.
It's not close the other way. So my prediction is Mario doesn't move him past center. Not even once. So that's what's coming AWE to Riekerd Bornman and Mario Tembakis. That's amazing. I think he's going to be, like I said, the internet loves him. There's something about him. The fact that he's 19.
You can't not.
The fact that he's 19. Let's talk about that. That's the other box he's ticked. Age potential. Like,
yeah,
being 19. There's so much upsides to this man still.
I mean, we talked about him, first ever time on a table, steps up against Terence Hopperman, stops him, almost wins the round. That's an 18-year-old who's never arm wrestled before.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I can't imagine it, man. Like I said, I saw someone in the comment section on YouTube last night asked me the question, and I didn't respond to it in text because it was 2 a.m., but I'll talk about it now. Someone wrote a comment to the effect of, does it get you down when you meet someone like this, when you've been arm wrestling training for a decade to get to where you are, and he strolls in day one and just beats you? and my answer is like, no, man. I'm excited by people like this. Like I consider it a blessing that we are given the opportunity to help foster in this young man the desire and the ability to do what he could do. Because you can't help but meet someone like this and say he could be like a Morozov. Like Morozov's 24, at 19 I think was probably a pretty similar style dude. Like big, ridiculously strong, great leverage, moves well. And look what he's doing just a few years later. You can't help but say this is the kind of genetic start point that sends you to the top once you're good. You know what I mean?
Yep. I think just gripping up with him, he's already at an extraordinarily high level. He's just started at a very high level. I think he can get a good 1 or 2 rungs higher very quickly. Well, training with us, this is someone who's essentially untrained in arm wrestling, but
still asking absolutely basic questions, which is I love it. The fact that he's asking these questions is evidence that he is genuinely brand new and he's a clean slate.
Yeah, and he's thinking about it deeply. So there's quick gains to be made, right? There is quick gains to be made, but he's not an untrained individual. You look at him, you know he's a very well trained individual. So after those, first couple of rungs, there's going to be the slow and steady that starts to happen relatively quickly compared to most other people. But he's already going to be a pro level super heavyweight.
Well, like last
by the time that starts.
Last night we were talking with him about the need for like if you let's just say you're driving, you're completely in control of the Riekerd Bornman direction. What style of training does a man that strong, this early, need, given his ability to move, given his his lack of conditioning to the sport. He gets very sore very quickly because he's brand new, as we all did when we're first pulling. You get sore quickly. He gets sore quickly. Like how do you guide someone like this early? Because you don't want what I feel like you don't want to happen is for him to get so sore because he goes sideways too hard too often, and ends up saying, "No, this is inhibiting my gym training or my rugby training or whatever." How would you guide a man like this?
Best case scenario, I think in terms of if everything was open to us, he trains with Jordan Davis and myself 4 or 5 times a week on top of the Wednesday night sessions. Because he's with us, he's not going to get that intense flair. Pressure's going to be quite far down. He's a lot stronger than Jordan and myself. No question. He's a lot stronger than both of us.
Yep.
And we will also outlast him in terms of endurance eventually and be able to work with him.
That's one thing that we saw last night, wasn't it? Like he pulled with me. He stonewalled me for 6 pulls. Then it became kind of even for about 3 or 4 pulls, and then he dropped away very much, and it became very easy for me. And he then pulled with you. He had 5 minutes rest pull with you, and he couldn't even get close.
5-10 minutes rest. I felt like he probably didn't get back above 70-75%.
So he had a very big drop off, but that's very normal of
He's
you
new.
guys.
He's new.
Unconditioned, and it was because of flare in his elbow. He's like you could see the visible pain. He's trying to work out where to put his arm, and that was with him just top rolling. And so last night he was like, I need to stay away from the inside because it hurts. Flares too quickly. So yeah, someone like that, I agree. You've got to protect in the sense of you want to show him the intelligent and efficient ways to arm wrestle, which he knows how to do.
He already does very well.
It's
just refining that. It's getting from big movements because he does the big movements well, and he often picks the
transitions
right moves
perfectly.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yep.
And it's just refining that and going from large movements to smaller and smaller and smaller until you can make those micro adjustments that win you matches.
And once the conditioning is there, and once he moves pain free through all those positions,
once he gets to the technical brilliance of being able to beat people stronger than him.
Yes.
What do we do?
Oh.
What do we do?
Oh,
What do we
like
do?
I know from that first.
By Lachlan.
Yeah. No,
Sorry, Lockie.
this is one thing Lachlan said to me last night. In the car. Lachlan's equally as excited. He's like, this is awesome. He's another monster. He's like, this is only good for us, for all of us. Like,
And he's a super heavyweight, so we don't have to feel too bad.
he's 123 kilos.
And he's only going to get bigger. He's 19.
He's 19.
Like
So
he's going to be like 130.
Expect him to do 130 plus pretty soon.
Yeah.
Oh man, but Lachlan was excited. Lachlan was like, yes, and that is cool because and I agree with you. Him training against Lachlan, he doesn't like at the moment. He's like, I feel like he's like, I need 2 weeks between pulls, and that's too long.
Way too long.
He needs to be pulling. He needs to be doing arm wrestling specific exercises, whether it's table time or correct gym work, 5 days a week, realistically. He still doesn't know that you cannot get hurt on the table when you're sore. He still thinks that you have to go strong and you subsequently flare yourself. As you're saying, pulling with someone like yourself, Jordan Davis, where it's that steaming eggs pressure. He can do that every single day for 5 hours a day, and it would only be beneficial.
The conditioning benefits of that going at max 40, 50% with incredibly long time under tension and working through literally every position on the table. The benefit of that can't be understated. It'd be perfect for him.
Yeah. I've
Man,
I've had said to me, and it's funny. This is a double-edged sword. You probably already know where I'm going. People call me delusional and one of the reasons people call me delusional is I speak very highly of the people around me, and Australia's been mocked because of the way I've spoken. People like Marcus Zatira has been mocked because I've said he's had so much genetic potential, all that sort of stuff. I think Riekerd Bornman is phenomenal. I think he will become a world elite. if he wants it, which I suspect he does based on what we've seen so far. But a lot of people will also be like, "Yeah, there's no way. It's just Ryan's prediction. Ryan never gets these predictions right." But I'm going on record. I'm going on record. Riekerd Bornman's going to be someone big in this sport. That's all I'll say. He's going to be someone big in this sport.
And I'll say, if he chooses to be something big in this sport, he's there. He's there.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gents, let us know what you think about this. Is Riekerd Bornman the next big thing? We get to see what he does at AWE too. That will be a big factor. If my prediction's right and he doesn't let Mario get past center, then it's on. Like, man, he's a rugby player. He has aggression in him. You know it's there. We haven't seen it yet. I want to see what happens with aggression. It's gonna be good. Anyway, Riekerd Bornman, I don't know what nickname he's gonna end up with, but he's a beast. All right, guys.